macro? What's macro? Like, are you confused about all of this? It's clean foods, flexible dieting. What even is clean? Does clean mean I have to scrub my meat down with some soap? There's so much jargon and so much stuff out there that where do you know even, how you would begin? It's so confusing, and I'm an educated person in these areas and it's still even confusing to me sometimes. So how do we expect the average person to be able to separate basically the bullshit from the real stuff in terms of what you're picking up today when you're reading articles or you're reading magazines and it's get 5-minute abs, get 6-minute waist, all of this stuff. How do you figure out what's the reality? The best thing to do is to find someone that is actually going to help you reach your goals in an educated fashion. So science at the end of the day. What I'm trying to say here is I'm not trying to be your coach, but I'm trying to help you find someone that will be able to assist you with these things, because the thing that I hate the most in the fitness industry is if people that are educated ripping off uneducated people about topics that they're probably educated in, and then they're passing on absolute crap, and or what they're doing is manipulating the product to sound more amazing than what it is. What I want to basically say to you is that if you're going to look for someone to help you in your fitness journey or nutritional goals or whatever it is that is health related, ask them basically these 5 things. Number 1, can they show you some results from a past client that they've worked with a similar situation to you, and or explain to you how they feel they'd be able to assist you in that area in a scientific way. Generally speaking, testimonials or past results are the best things that they can show you, especially if they've had a similar case with another client before. Number 2, are they trying to sell you straight away? By that, what I mean is, are they literally letting you sign on the dotted paper, hand over money before they've even asked any questions about you? Meaning, have they asked you to complete a client questionnaire? Have they asked you any questions about your goals? Have they asked you any questions about your past dietary habits? Or have they simply just said, hey, swipe your credit card and I'll start sending you plans? Then you know you ain't getting something that is customized. Number 3 would be, when you are seeking out something more of a customized plan, are they sending you questionnaires that are detailing questions on your dietary habits, on your exercise ability, on any medical conditions, on any past dietary changes, e.g. yo-yo dieting, ketogenic diets, anything that you've done in the past that might affect where you are today? If they're simply asking about the present, then that's also something to be concerned about. You want someone that's looked at where you've come from, not just where you're at today, because that's obviously affected the place that you're in now. Number 4 would be, are they listening to you? Now, that sounds like a little bit of a silly thing. You think, hey, of course they're going to be listening to me, but you'd be surprised. So when you say to them, my goal is X, Y, and Z, let's say for example, fat loss, do they straight away respond to you by going, yeah, no worries, we'll get you dropping 10 kgs in like a couple of weeks, and you're like, perfect, that is exactly what I want? Instead, do they listen and then give an educated response? So if a client, say, came to me and said, look, Alice, I want to lose 10 kilos in a month, and I was like, okay, let's have a look at how realistic that is. So let's look at your weight now, let's look at your current dietary intake, let's look at roughly where your metabolism's at, what you're training, are you overtraining, undertraining, have we got some room to move here, and then tell the client if that's realistic or not. So a lot of the time going into number 5 is setting you up for false hope and false expectation. So they'll make everything look amazing on paper, yeah, we're going to get you this, we're going to get you that, and what's only going to happen is you're probably going to be disappointed, or you might get results for the first few weeks and then it might kind of plateau out from there, but they've already locked you in for some 6-month contract or whatever it is, you've paid some lump sum up front. So they're probably my 5 biggest ones when you are looking to hire someone. I also believe in trying to find someone that is educated, but educated isn't always the best. Now what I mean by that is, someone might have a university degree or accreditation in something, it doesn't mean that they're any better than someone that, say, maybe doesn't have that. Because at the end of the day, in terms of the health and fitness realm, people's skills, own personal research, personal development, experience is probably number one. So you want to find someone that's actually tried these things with people before, with themselves, with whoever, rather than being straight fresh out of a university degree. Because I tell you that much, when I came out of uni for the first time, I had no idea how to even talk to clients, deal with situations, the mental mindset behind things, all of those things that, yes, you have the science, but they may not have had the practical experience to be able to actually deal with more in-depth situations. So look for education, but different forms of education. So how have they actually used that over the past few years in terms of what they've been doing, maybe who they've been working with. They might have had really good mentors or other people in the industry that you respect that they've learned a lot from as well, which is definitely one of the ways that I learned. So basically, what I don't want to see you doing is throwing your money at some 8 weeks to shredded plan that really has nothing customized, no questions asked, off you go. So when things are generally cheaper as well, you're gonna get what you pay for. Like, I'll be honest. So if it's $79.95 and you get a plan and you get a diet and everything for that price, I can guarantee you it's not gonna be customized for a start, and that there's gonna be a whole lot of other people on that same thing. So don't expect too much if you're not paying much for it, because to write a customized nutritional program and training program, it's going to take a good coach a solid like 5 or 6 hours of their time, and there's no way that they'd be doing that for $79.95 if they respect themselves and value their own self-worth. So you've got to remember that as well when you're hiring someone, to make sure that you look for someone that values their own self-worth and also values you as a client.